Welcome, everybody, to the wonderful wide world of Pokemon. Of course, we are here at the Mount Silver Podcast, episode 21.
21.
I don't know how many more episodes they're going to be after.
I know. We're going to have to start pulling shit out of our ass soon.
Yeah, we're really going to have to start. It's a shame, a podcast concept that went dry 21 episodes in.
I mean, it's Pokemon, though. You know, they're consistent when they're in cycle, and then when they go away for a minute. So we'll see how it goes. They may announce something new. Who knows?
This is true. Of course, my name is Meelz. I am here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff. And, of course, here with the big Gucci Pafif. Pat, what's going on, man?
I haven't seen any fucking shinies.
Not one.
They're so easy to get. I haven't seen any.
You're right. I mean, I thought I would run into a shiny by the rates that they're saying out here, especially considering we have shiny charms and shit like that. We worked that hard to get shiny charms. Wait, by the way, do you know what the prize in this game is for completing the Pokédex?
I don't know. I haven't actually looked.
Do you want to know?
Sure, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay. I mean, I might care, but I don't care. But if I know,
what kind of charm is it?
It's not a charm.
It's not a charm. Wow, okay.
Not a charm.
What is it?
It's the most like
hat.
How would I say? There's another hat. Yes.
I'm about to say it's rather a charm, a hat, or a Pikachu.
Okay, actually, let me look up the video again because it was funny when I got it, and it seemed like the most like, you know, when it's like third place, and it's like you got these big prize. Like first prize is like rent free, second prize is like a MacBook Pro, and like third prize are like a trip to the M&M store or something along those lines.
Just advertising for M&Ms, basically.
I know,
right? But they, of course, I'm looking up, where is it? Austin John Plays, because he finished his decks. I always go to him. It's not a plug for him, but it kind of is, because if you search for it, it'll be there. Hold on. Let me see. He says he completed the decks. Wow. This is not a... Let's see. Okay, here we go. It's definitely another crown. It's another type of crown.
Okay, another crown.
They give you a crown. They give you... Okay, the lady at the thing. Okay, she says, "Congratulations, you finally did it. You completed your Crown Tundra Pokédex. Thanks to your hard work, I made remarkable progress on my research. I'm so glad that I asked you to help me." And then it goes black. "To commemorate your great achievement, let me..." Hold on.
Did she give you the Cosmog?
No, she does not.
Does that one chick give you the Cosmog after you finish?
I don't even remember. I haven't got to the Cosmog yet.
Okay.
To commemorate your great achievement, let me add something special to your league card.
What? Okay. League card shit. Okay.
Done. Please also take this as a token of my gratitude. You got an original style replica state crown.
Wow, turn up. Okay.
It's another crown. It's not so much like pointy crown, it's more the circle type. You also obtained 50 rare candies.
I already have like 300. So thanks, Pokemon.
You obtain 3 gold bottle caps.
Okay, I have a few of those myself already.
Let me see what else she says.
The stuff that they're giving you is like...
And that is it. He walks away.
Yeah, like you get so much of that stuff if you're like... I mean, if you're frequently playing in the tower or you're doing like raids and stuff like that, you get a lot of that stuff. So I mean, I guess
they could have made up something.
Yeah. I know the Cosmog, like...
That's like brand new.
After you fight one of the horses, Glastier tier or Spec tier, whatever their names are, you go to that house with the little spiral outside, and that lady gives you the Cosmog inside. So,
oh really?
Yeah, true story.
Wow. They're gonna start calling you Cosmog Jeff.
Cosmog Jeff. Cosmog is super cute to me. So.
It is pretty cute. They make it into kind of like an annoying Pokemon in the game.
Know.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
It is cute. All right, so that's the prize for winning Crown Tundra. Thank you guys for listening.
It was
there you go.
Spoiler episode.
No, but for real, Crown Tundra DLC dropped last week, October 23rd. Actually, it was supposed to drop October 22nd. At least that's what all the promotions said. And then I don't know if it waited specifically until the presidential debate to drop, but it definitely did. and it dropped then, and we're all downloading, and it was like, all right, time to get to the Isle of Armor. No, sorry, not the Isle of Armor. The fucking Crown Tundra. All right. Thoughts on the Isle of Armor? We're a few months removed. Thoughts on the Isle of Armor? Any lingering thoughts? Do you think of it at all, even?
I consider it filler. I thought it was a bunch of fluff. The Diglett stuff was annoying, although I like the prizes.
I'm not even close to finishing that Diglett.
The story was goofy, although this story is goofy too in Crown Tundra. But I'm enjoying Crown Tundra for the most part. Well, I'm not completely finished with it, but man, I don't know. Isle of Armor it just seemed incomplete and very quick, so I don't really have any like real ties to it per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I like the actual wild area like better in Isle of Armor. I don't really like any of the areas themselves that much, if that makes sense. Like the Isle of Armor as a layout makes more sense for the wild area, but I don't love all the worlds in Isle of Armor. And I didn't love the stuff with Urshifu. It's just not cool.
Yeah.
And just going like I'm up to catching I just finished catching the Reggies in Tundra.
Right.
I caught everybody else. So I finished that like first round and stuff. But I got the end. But I just like kind of the layout of it a little better, and I thought catching those legendaries was way more exciting than the Urshifu stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems, considering like the wild area when we got the Nisha game last year November, it was like, wow, whoa,
massive, of course. They wanted us to eat off that the whole time,
like all types of shit. And now, kind of seeing it on like the third go around, it's like, let me get the hell out of here. Where I gotta go? Where do I gotta go? Who's this? Where's the legendary? Let me get to that place. What is it? Giant's Bed? All right, we're going to the Giant's Bed. I don't even stop to like look around. I don't stop to see what Pokemon are there. I don't stop because I have them. They did a bad job of like putting more Pokemon. Crown Tundra had like, it has Pokemon you don't have, but it certainly has a lot of Pokemon that you probably do have already, which is like
and
weird.
Boring ones.
Yeah. Oh, and then let's not forget the hail.
Yes, the hail.
Appreciate
we'll talk about
hail. Like, come on.
We'll talk about hail when we get to legendaries, because hail is a bitch. Okay, so you get into the Crown Tundra. It's not something special. It's not something elaborate. There's no particular rival. You get there, and it's a goofy story featuring an enthusiastic man named Peony and his daughter named Peonia. What are our thoughts on Peony?
He's a goofball. The little like font that they throw on the screen, like where they basically kind of name the chapter you're in. Yeah, but it's not really a chapter. It's so goofy. I mean, he's a funny character. Like I get it. He's probably the most funny character we have in the game, at least as far as like it actually working.
I was a fan of Swordwar, and Shieldbert. I was a fan of those.
They were cool. Yeah. They're pretty funny too. His daughter, she's
Peonia.
Yeah, Peonia definitely. She definitely wants the protagonist.
Classic protagonist situation.
Yeah, she definitely wants the protagonist.
In terms of a bio on this guy, Peony is the younger brother of Rose, Chairman Rose. Who I think has been ousted at this point, like removed.
He should be in jail.
For Dynamax crimes.
Like, what is he doing?
Dynamax level crimes. It says he is the younger brother of Rose, though this is not often publicly mentioned. From childhood, he was always pressured because he was constantly compared to Rose, who was described as being quite gifted, which caused Peony to become rebellious over time, becoming a delinquent who ran away from home. He eventually had his talents recognized and became a gym leader, specializing in steel types. He was a powerful trainer who posed to many so much that he eventually became a champion, though he left the Pokemon League shortly after Rose became chairman. Wow. Brother issues. He eventually found his way into the Crown Tundra in hopes of learning much more about the legendary Pokemon that inhabit it. So it seems like obviously he's a strong trainer, and then his brother, who he apparently does not like or does not want to be around, became chairman, and he says, I'm dipping off to the Crown Tundra, a very far distant land away from
right.
Wedgehurst or wherever the fuck there are at anymore. that's more backstory than the game gives you. Backstory kind of makes him seem like a goof, and he kind of is. So I enjoyed him.
He is a goof. Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
He was better than a lot of like their traditional I don't know, I guess walkthrough characters, if that makes sense.
Well, yes. And speaking of walkthroughs, let's do this. So he's the one who shows us kind of the Dynamax adventure thing, which I would say is probably the most popular part of the game thus far, in terms of like approval rating of like everyone being like, okay, this is the thumbs up. The Dynamax Adventures, it is its own separate thing. You go into the Max Lair, you fight Dynamax Pokemon featuring Pokemon that you borrow, along with teammates that are slightly more capable than the ones that are in the wild area. Mm-hmm. You fight them, you get 4 battles, you get to the 4th one. It's a legendary Pokemon. You catch it, it may be a shiny.
Which is rewarding.
The odds are 1 out of 300 for regular, and if you have the shiny charm, it's 1 out of 100. So if you actually want to shine,
which it's just a really good rate.
Yeah, that's high as hell.
Yeah, in comparison to like what it just usually is on a normal basis. Also, like the reason why I say it's so rewarding is at least you're confirmed. You know, a catch. I think if it's your first time, it's an automatic catch if you defeat it. After that, you know, you just take your chances. But I just think it's rewarding because it is a bit, and it's not easy. I mean, it's not the easiest thing.
So it's way harder than the regular fucking.
Yeah, at first I was a little bummed out that you couldn't bring your own Pokemon, but I understand why now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it does make sense that you have to pick between a pool, and I like the little rental system where you can switch out if you beat the. You know, it's cool. Like
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a lottery feeling to the rental system itself that makes it kind of cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's fun. I would say that's probably, from everything that I've kind of seen thus far regarding the game, that is the thing that most people enjoy. And you could honestly spend the most time kind of indulging in all after the fact, like after you finish the game. Because honestly, I don't think I'm going to explore the Crown Tundra much more if I don't have to. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to stay parked at the Max Lair. I don't think I'm going to go do the Galarian Star Tournament again. I don't think I'm going to do much after that, to be honest with you. I might stay at the Max Lair. Let's start with our first adventure, the Sacred Bonds of the Sovereign and Steed. Dun, dun, dun. It flashes on the screen, etc., etc.
Those titles flashing on the screen were killing me.
I know. It's so goofy. I've never seen them really do anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about, I think they started during Rainbow Rocket, and they were just like, you know what, I like this, I like doing this. Oh, there must be traffic outside or something.
It's
like
cheesy, but yeah.
Legendary Pokemon Calyrex
is ugly as hell.
I thought this entire adventure was goofy as fuck.
It is. It's really not, no substance is really there.
Even talking to Calyrex is like, I do think it's kind of funny that like he's possessing this guy and like he can talk to you. Like it's kind of like dark for Pokemon especially, but it was so like you're like this genius, like god of this area, and you can't find your horse.
It's like, how can you not find your horse?
You need a carrot to find your horse. Like, come on.
This story was so goofy. You know what it kind of reminded me of? If you had written Calyrex as like a South Park goof type of thing, I would 100, because that's what I kind of read the voice in. Nothing of it kind of seemed serious as opposed to like a legendary thing. It kind of seemed like, and I was.
You know what? Stop right there, Meelz. Stop right there. Because before I wanted to finish this episode, this is what I gotta think. If this is the end of Sword and Shield, there's something I gotta say. And your point, it all adds up. I think that we can't move forward in Pokemon until they decide to give us voice actors. Like, I really think it's time. Before, I'm usually like, whatever about it. Like, I'm not saying every Pokemon has to be, you know, they can keep giving me the general, their cries from Gen 1. I don't care about that. But as far as protagonists, antagonists, the people you meet along the way, like, come on. It can't, I mean, just bring some voice actors in, chop it up, and let's get this thing going. Because I think Calyrex would have been a little bit more interesting if we heard something that gave us some type of, like, trait to it, a personality trait that could, because I definitely feel you. Like if you look at the thing, That's exactly how
it looks
I
like an
would say
abomination created by legitimately the South Park writers, in my opinion.
It's not an
That's what it
attractive
looks
Pokemon
like.
at all.
It is not cool.
Yeah,
those legs.
Like there are some moments when I thought it looked cool, but then there's other moments where I'm like, what?
Okay. You know when it didn't look cool? You know when it didn't look cool? When it tried to straddle that horse.
Yeah, look, that's a crime that it looks so stupid when it's riding the horse. Because when else has that ever happened in the games? And yet, here we are. It looks dumb.
In the beginning, where they show it on the horse without the hat, I'm like, okay, it's not bad. But then, like, the legs are kind of just these. The legs are so unproportioned, and they just they have no bones, no blood. They just dangle.
It's just fucking weird.
It is very weird. It's a weird Pokemon.
The story about this is kind of like Calyrex's like missing clout, and it's weird because he seems like a legendary who's having like issues with not being remembered.
Yeah,
right.
Because he decided to go away. I guess once he lost his horse, he just decided to disappear because his power was no longer strong.
Like, this guy's lame. He's short.
Yeah, he's also like floating around the neighborhood, and he's like, people. At times I just like stare at people.
There's Calyrex again. He looks so sad.
I said he goes to that one corner. You know that one corner where you meet him all the time.
Yeah,
it's very open area. It's like, remember when the Power Rangers would go and like, we got to go talk to Zordon, and they would go in an open hallway and just like sneakily talking to the things. That's the level of tact that he used in terms of just like, yo, all right, come over here. Let me talk to you. It's like, you were a legendary who's been floating around for years.
And like Peony just like floating next to him for hours at a time in this little
Peony, he would get out of the thing and then woke up. Is like, oh, what are you doing over here? I am Calyrex, and
this thing's got a big fucking head.
I cannot wait to hear what this thing's gonna sound like in the movie. Like, I really want to hear its voice now.
Nah, they can't put this in a movie.
You know it's going in the movie. Come on.
Oh my god, it will look so. They haven't even given us the movie Pokemon yet officially. But you know, it is what it is at this point. I don't like the
movie Pokemon,
and we love you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Calyrex in Freezington. I don't know. I don't like the story. I don't like the story of like, well, what if we got a carrot, right? And what if we got carrot seeds? Look, you have to speak to the old man first, and all right, when we get the carrot seed on, now we need the reins of this thing. We need the reins of unity. We need someone to sow it, and I need you to bring that back for me. I must just stand right here with this guy. I'm just waiting for you to come back.
That's probably going to be his voice. You know that, right? Like,
he looks like one of those things. He doesn't look like someone with a voice that's commanding. He looks like someone with a voice.
You made it sounds like a real Poindexter.
Yeah, he legitimately does sound like that. Anyway, apparently you have to go get carrot seeds from the mayor or whoever the fuck this person is. You have to
a lot of old men around here. They all look like what's his name from Isle of Armor. He had a crazy name. What was his name? It was a food, I think.
It was his name is actually, let me look it up. His name is Mustard.
Yeah.
Mustard, yeah.
Mustard.
He said it was a food, actually.
Mustard. That shows you how much Isle of Armor is has an effect.
Couldn't even remember him, even though there's already a famous Mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, right?
You get the carrot seeds. You go to the old cemetery where
cemeteries are back.
Yeah, you go to the cemeteries.
Almost
that Marowak Cemetery, where you grow the carrot, and then the ghost type or the ice type show up. Which one did you guys pick?
Ghost.
Yeah,
Ghost, the ice one is trash.
Yeah, Ghost is way cooler.
Ice one is ridiculously slow.
So. Yeah, we don't want that. Ice gets smacked around in general though a lot in these games. So
yeah, they need to do something with ice that like it should be so much cooler than it is.
Can we also talk about how this secondary, like legendary compared to Calyrex, is infinitely I don't want to say infinitely stronger, but much stronger than Calyrex.
Yeah.
Calyrex is 20 base CP away from a Glalie. Like, he's a legendary.
They do that sometimes. It's like, and then they pair him with the horse to make it worth your while. But I don't know, man. I really had no interest in Calyrex even when they debuted him. I would have been more happy if they showed us the horses first, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horses
were a big secret, actually.
Yeah, nobody knew about these horses until like the day prior. Yeah.
I was like, what are you saving the horses for? The horses are the cool part. Calyrex is the dork. Like, why are you saving these things? Anyway, you get the carrot. You go to the thing. They said, okay, we need to sow the reins of unity. You go back. You talk to all the people in the village. Someone eventually sows the reins of unity together. Then you, Calyrex, and Peony all go up to the, where are we at? Gosh, where the fuck do you have to travel?
It's like the Crown Tundra temple.
Yeah, the Crown Shrine, where you guys stake out.
That's right. Right.
You stake out. You're literally like hiding behind a rock while you're waiting for this horse to show up. And the horse eventually shows up, and it's like, we got him. The carrot's right there. And Calyrex like ambushes the horse, jumps on him.
It's me.
Reins him in.
Do you remember me?
Yeah. Because he needs him for his power, because he's shitty by himself. So he just ambushes his horse, takes him back again. Now he's at full power. Then you get to battle him and catch him and never use him, etc., etc. Hey, that's it. What do you guys think of the first?
What is Calyrex? Is he a fox or?
I think he's a deer.
Yeah, he's like a deer fox.
Okay. All right.
He looks like a deer.
His species is High King. He's a High King Pokemon. That's his species.
He may be based on an Arctic hare.
Okay. Actually, yeah. I see that.
Oh my god!
I don't know. For like a rabbit who was like this fertility god on a tundra, it could have been way cooler.
I agree. I feel like those legs really throw me off, and the headpiece is just so large. Like, I don't know.
Even like Lord of the Bountiful Harvest, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
but you're right, Meelz. He has a 500 base stat. I mean, his health is his highest stat.
That's never cool.
And even when he's riding, he goes to a 680, which is pretty damn good. But I mean, I guess it just, I don't know what they were trying to pull with the design. The design really threw me off, because if it looked cool and still had these stats, I would be like, well, at least it looks cool,
But no.
But no.
By the way, the horses by themselves, I don't know how many moves they can actually learn.
They learn nothing too crazy. I'm looking right now. Tackle, tail whip, double kick, hex, stomp, confuse ray, hey. This is obviously the ghost one. Shadow ball, takedown, thrash, disable. The last move is nasty plot. So they don't really have a huge
the ghost pool. One only knows one ghost move. Only learns 2 ghost moves.
And then the ice one does get swords dance, taunt, icicle crash, miss.
But nothing that's gonna raise its
nothing crazy.
Low speed.
And even the moves that it can learn, I mean, I don't really see anything worthwhile on here. No calm minds. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ass. Yeah. All right. Well, those are your legendaries. Thanks for playing, guys. Actually, now we have the next quest, I guess. These are supposed to be in order. I did not do these. I think I did
those birds, man.
I did the birds, and then I did the star tournament, and then it was over. I was like, did I do this in the right order? Did I fuck this up? The next one is Terrible Titans Lurking Locked Away.
This is the last one I did. This one was bullshit.
Yeah, this was definitely so. By nature of doing it last, it was the most bullshit of them all.
Yes, exactly.
So you have to track down the legendary Titans: Reggie Rock, Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, and then you get introduced to. This is where the bullshit part comes.
Yeah,
in.
I was so mad about this.
Reggie Alecki or Reggie Drago. And you can only get one.
And I didn't pick Drago. Stupid.
I'll make sure you guys get whichever one you didn't pick.
Don't worry. I already made a pact with Carlos, and I said, Carlos, what are you getting? He says, of course, Reggie Draco, and I was like, well, that's not his name, but
look,
fair.
man, Reggie Lecky, the electric one, dude. Yes. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, man. Well,
it looks like a balding light bulb.
I'll probably end up talking to you guys about it again, obviously in the chat, but like, its stats are wild. I don't know if anybody. He's got 200 base speed, 100 special attack, 100 attack. Like people are gonna be using it because it's only weak to ground.
It was the hardest one of them to catch for me because with all the other ones, and my go-to is just put Raichu out first, use Thunder Wave, go from there.
Right.
But I was like, at first I was using Toxic on it and just praying I could catch it in the window before it died, which obviously I couldn't.
Nope.
And then I put it to sleep with a Politoed, and that ultimately
then it wakes up.
What a pain in the ass. Yeah.
My technique, obviously, I just grab a level 100 from somewhere in my game that has false swipe, and I false swipe it, and then I used what did I use? Fucking one of those Gen 6 things. You know that little lizard that runs that's electric? I forgot its fucking name.
Oh, yeah.
Helio.
Yes, there you go. I use him to Thunder Wave it, and then I throw balls.
I'm going to be honest, man. I have like 10 Master Balls, so.
So, all right. So here's another question. What is the point of Master Balls in this game?
I don't know what I'm saving mine for at this point.
Yeah.
I have just use them. Just use them, guys.
Like, I guess if I see a shiny in a raid, that's what I'm gonna use.
I was gonna say like those legends that because I know the first time is an automatic catch if you defeat it. So if you run into something that you have double of and it's a shiny, go ahead and knock it out. Use it.
I don't get it, but also I just don't get it. I have 3 now, and I'm just like, maybe can I transfer this to the next game? Can I do that? I don't know. All right. Yeah, you get the Reggies. You get the 3 actually once you get all the Reggies. Well, and then you have a good friend of yours trade. Actually, if you want to trade me one that you don't want, like
I'm gonna try to get an extra one. I'm trying to make sure you guys are straight.
If you get an extra one, because when I talked to Carlos and I was like, "Oh, which one are you gonna pick?" He says Reggie Draco, and I was like, "Fuck, all right, that's the one I wanted." So I got Reggie Lucky, which is not so bad, as you said.
I think Carlos is gonna be upset because I feel like they're gonna pronounce it Drago.
It's definitely Drago.
But that's cool.
Saying that on purpose. He's 100% saying that on purpose. So he traded me his. I ended up getting Reggie Gigas. Got that. Traded him back his thing because that's not fun. And I was done with the quest.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I've never been a fan of the Reggies in general. I love the designs of the 2 new ones, but yeah, it sucks that you can't catch them.
They are 3 giant trash cans, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the designs on the 2 new ones, but I'm not a Reggie guy in general.
Yeah, I've never liked them.
Yeah.
Why did they decide Reggie's
because they really don't get no love. I mean, if you think about it, they haven't really called it back in a while.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the birds are obviously, to me, the birds are what's important to
me.
They're
the crown jewel of this game.
Yeah, like in my opinion, because I think they did incredible with the designs. They were super smart with the shiny variants, and it is annoying. Like I know Moltres was fairly annoying, at least.
Well, let's talk about it. So your third adventure is a legendary tree of a legendary 3. And
he's stupid.
You go to the Dyna Tree Hill, by the way, where a tree that I'm not actually sure what the tree's purpose is. Let me look it up. It seems like it's rather large, so it would have.
It's going to say unknown.
It just says it's a location.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's just a massive landmark, I guess. Whatever.
Can give you too much.
You get to the tree. All the 3 birds are there, hanging out, joshing around. You show up there with your Rotom camera. They look at you. Fuck you doing? You look back at them. They fly off into various areas. And there's where the fun begins. Okay, let me ask you guys, which one did you do first?
Articuno. And I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I just kind of went into it.
Articuno, I did first. I had to go all the way up to the fucking, what is it? It's damn near the shrine. I had to go up the ice mountain thing. Terrible idea. Never will do that again. It was the most annoying part because of the hail.
Mm-hmm.
And
the hail.
You try to catch it and you can't catch it because it's eventually going to die within a number of turns. So I had to pretty much, well, the little dance thing. How were you at the little dance thing? The little like, oh, we've seen multiples of it. Can you pick the right one?
What the Articunos are?
I literally just walked up to it and I was like, "Oh, there's 3 of them," and then
that's what I thought.
I didn't do anything.
Same. I just thought I had an option of 3.
Fuck you guys! I've missed it so many times, and I'm there watching it intently.
I will say, as annoying as this bird thing was, it was kind of cool that it was basically like the legendary dogs in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a callback.
I liked it. I liked it better than the legendary dogs because the legendary dogs were.
Oh my god!
It was so hard.
We didn't have the resources that we had back then.
No. The fact that it would run away once you show up in its route was the most annoying thing I think ever. Like, what is the point? How am I supposed to catch this? And then you encounter it when you're least worried. It's like you're encountering it with your pants down. And you're like, I didn't even bring my mean look with me. Like, fuck. It's so wild. Anyway, this was fun. The Articuno thing was fun. Zapdos was the most fun for me. Being
Chase's ass.
So aggressive and chasing it around the wild area.
Yeah, that was
aggressive. Fun. Like, I'm cutting over grass, hitting, wooloos and shit. And
you like how they prepped us for this with the slowpoke?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't remember that. I guess now that you bring it up, they did prep us with it.
They prepped us for it.
I gotta actually evolve Slowking. I gotta do a Slowking thing because I haven't done that. But the Zapdos thing was fun. Moltres could be a real pain in the ass if you don't nip it in the bud really quickly.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. Well, actually, it was a pain in the ass, but then I flew back there and basically saw it right away and just bolted at it.
Yeah, that's how you gotta run it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have spent the 10, 15 minutes wandering around looking for it if I'd known I could just reset it and be next to it by flying every time.
Yeah,
I whistled so much at that thing.
It should be a little easier so if I'm trying to run over land and then it goes over sea and now I'm like Thunder in Paradise jet skiing towards this motherfucker in the middle of the ocean, like I should be able to catch up with it, but then it flies over a complete island that I have to fly around and a fucking Sharpedo's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And there's a Whalmer in my way.
Over the water, it was so hard to catch.
Yeah, it was ridiculously hard to catch, but it was fun. I'll be honest, it was fun. It was the most fun. Like, oh wow,
they did a good job.
They did a good job with this.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really it. They look cool. Like they look cool. I'm sure they're gonna get some burn in the meta.
Yeah, they will. Moltres is getting a lot of love.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's look at their typing. Is there anything that stands out for you about this? Like, I haven't actually played with them, but Jeff, is there anything that kind of stood out with like moves or?
Not yet, dude. At least not for me. Although that Galarian Moltres can use Nasty Plot, which is like
it has Nasty Plot. I think when you catch
it does. It was just like some next level. Like there's just certain things that you don't want to have to deal with. I know that Articuno has a new move. I think
Freezing Glare.
Freezing Glare. And it's a psychic move.
Yeah, with a chance to freeze the target.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. We don't see a lot of like solid. Oh man, I'm about to get frozen solid type moves. You know what I'm saying? Which is really really cool. Right. So I haven't seen anything that necessarily made me want to go one way or another. But I know people have been talking about Moltres a lot. The Zapdos also Zapdos's typing is like, I don't know, man.
Fight and flying.
Yeah, like the flying thing too is like, I think Pat had mentioned this like a year ago when we were doing this podcast about like it's always flying normal or whatever the case may be. Like, man, they could have done without. I know it's a bird, you know what I'm saying, but
right,
this motherfucker's running, man.
Yeah, this one looks like it can't fly.
Like, what? Why? They should have just switched it up.
It's not a flying type.
Yeah, should just switched it up.
Is it? I don't even know.
No. Well, Moltres is dark flying.
Dark flying. Yeah, they're all flying.
Yeah, they're all flying in various types.
They just have another type.
Dark fighting, psychic, the other big three, I guess, depending on who you are. Their
shinies are incredible though. That is like
their shinies are really good.
They got that shit right.
I need to look at this.
They're literally the original bird's color.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, dude. It's so cool. So check it out because they look really dope.
Your next adventure, Sonia will let you know that they've discovered various footprints across the Crown Tundra belonging to the Swords of Justice. What are these three legendary? Were they lions or dogs? What the fuck are they? Musketeers. These three legendary, I guess, things of various, musketeers. I'm just gonna go with that. These three things are just wandering around the Crown Tundra. You have to get their footprints. It's pretty fun, pretty easy. You get it done. You see them. They're just in the wild. Then you get able to get Keldeo. I'm not sure if that's a prize for anyone, but hey, they're there. I'm pretty sure I have one. Actually, I don't know that. I just recently looked at my Pokemon Home thing. I was like, wow, I don't have a lot.
I just like that Home will organize it for you.
Interesting. Okay. After all the three adventures, Peonia appears at the base. Oh, well, you know what? Let me not spoil this thing. Max Lair, etc. Wormholes are back.
Yeah.
Sun and Moon. They came from the Ultra Beyond, is what they're calling this adventure. Once Necrozma has been
caught. Get your beast balls.
Yeah. Once Necrozma has been caught, the scientist running the Max Lair reveals the adventure description to be written by her. Huh. Interesting. So is she in charge of the wormholes? Interesting. Okay.
That is kind of strange. I didn't know that.
The birds do look awesome.
They look so good. Like those shiny variants are so good, man.
Yeah, it was a great idea.
All right, and the last adventure is going to be the Galarian Star Tournament. Leon, who is the new former champion. He has a new occupation now.
I don't want to smack these guys around again.
Okay. Leon becomes the new chairman of the Galar League because you've
promotion.
Listen, he just fails upward. That's what you call him.
Like, didn't I just beat this guy?
Yeah, he's like, well, now I'm chairman, so like you can't even call me champion anymore because I'm like chairman with a Charizard. Cha. The fourth adventure starts. It's the Galarian Star Tournament. Leon has this great idea. He was like, what if we did the league, but like it was a double battle?
Like, great job. That's never been done.
Like, what if you were able to crown champions, but they were like two of them? Leon, we love you. Oh my God. Yes, that's so amazing. The Windon Stadium hosts this. You can either team up with Hop, which you thought you were afraid. You thought you were rid of him, but no, he's still there. You can team up with Hop or Marnie. I picked Marnie.
Of course.
Oh yeah, I would pick Marnie too.
Of course. I haven't done this yet, but like I have no interest in it though.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do it to get the credits in the game if that matters to you.
I know, but like I'm going to do it, but I just don't have. I'm gonna sweep them. Me and Marnie, come on, man.
Listen, Marnie. I don't know. I feel like she's kind of a slouch, but she's no slouch. It's like Hop slouch. Like Hop's a
bum.
Yeah, a real bum. And eventually goes on to face Leon and Raihan or Piers and Raihan in the finals. I think I've faced Piers and Raihan because I picked Marnie. Wow. That's whack. Okay.
You know how I go. It's never gonna be random, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Leon declares the Galarian Star Tournament a new permanent feature in the Wyndham Stadium. Wow. Which means
he's permanently employed.
Yeah,
the corruption continues. Oh my god. Let's see what else that we got in this game. What else is going on in this game?
Get your Cosmog.
Get your Cosmog.
Use your Pikachu hat codes. I think it ends on the 30th of October. Well, I mean, I guess by the time people hear this, you won't be able to get me anymore. But
no, that's tough.
Is it November?
Tomorrow, yeah. I think one is October and some are November. I was just looking at this.
Okay, so
you'll have time even after this episode.
There's like 8 of them. Yeah, there's like 8 of them. So make sure you capture your hats.
Almost every legendary's in this game.
Yes,
I think almost every. I
no
don't want to say
no Mew and who else isn't in?
I learned there's a clear distinction between mythicals and legendaries that
I know, but come on, man. To me,
I wasn't previously aware of.
You don't need to be aware of it, man. Because to me, they're all legendaries.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we grew up.
You're a legend now, so you can get the original 3 birds in the lair. You can get the 3 dogs. You can get Lugia, Ho-Oh. You can get scrolling down the regular.
Were Latios and Latias in Isle of Armor?
No, but they're in the max lair. Yeah, they're in the lair. You can get Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza. You can get Dialga, Palkia,
Genesect,
Mesprit, Azelf, Heatran, Regigigas, both Giratina forms, Cresselia, Victini, Turnitus, Thundurus, Landorus, Genesect, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Volcanion, Diancie, Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Fini, and all the Ultra Beasts, essentially.
Yeah, so no Mewtwo and Mew, basically.
No, Mewtwo's in here.
Mewtwo's in
here.
No Mew.
Yeah, it's in the den. No Mew.
They've done really well keeping Mew extremely exclusive. I have to give it to them for that because it is really difficult to obtain one.
Yeah, I agree. What's the point?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like if you didn't buy that little Pokeball Plus, you're not getting it.
That's whack. I guess. I mean,
that's where it is.
I guess Mew is a ploy. He ends up being a promotional tool as opposed to a Pokemon itself.
Right. Wow. You just cracked the code.
Very harsh.
That's what Mewtwo would say.
I think Mewtwo and Mew, they're cool now, aren't they? They got a
in my mind, they are.
Yeah.
Mew goes on to be the chairman. Mewtwo goes off to live in the Crown Tundra. I guess that's how they kind of go. All right, so let's give our final thoughts on this game and kind of overarching thoughts on this. Not I don't want to say the game. This DLC, which is part of the game, I guess.
The expansion.
This expansion, in terms of my thoughts about it, I would say it is better than the Isle of Armor.
It is.
It has much more fun tasks than the Isle of Armor. However, it is still not fulfilling to any extent. Like, I don't feel fulfilled. And maybe that's asking too much from DLC. Maybe that's asking for too much for them to be like, oh, you bought the game, you can feel fulfilled in that. All this extra stuff. Like, I'm not going to charge you extra to be more fulfilled. I don't know what their line of thinking is. But to catch all these legendaries and mythicals at this point, they're such the names are just that. They're just legendaries and mythicals, as opposed to being like actual things you'd vie for. I think they're just more so classifications of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't necessarily feel any special to me, especially if you can get them all in this game and then you got them all in the last game. I mean, how many Latioses do you probably have at this point? So I'm probably, once this is done, the chapter for Sword and Shield for me will be 100% over.
Yeah. I feel that if you're not playing the meta, then I'm sure that's exactly how everyone else is going to feel. It is definitely better than Isle of Armor. But again, it's not
the Dynamax adventure thing just makes it so much different than Isle of Armor.
Very true. Very true. And the splitting the shiny rate down to get legendaries and mythicals, that's definitely what they're trying to pull you in to do. And it can be time consuming. So I do like the challenge of that. To me, if this is something that they're going to continue to do, I rather them just put it all together in one massive game and just let me get to it as I get to it.
Like they actually just did.
Right. Like, oh, yeah. Now you can get 6th. Yeah. Now you can get the full game with everything. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy it again.
Yeah. You fucking
bastards. Nintendo Game Freak.
And then actually I saw they linked it in one of these Pokemon chats that I'm in. They linked it. The game now is it's $39.99, the original game, without the thing. So it's like I could have waited a year for the complete game, but
it'll be back at 60 a week before Christmas.
Pat, what are your thoughts?
I like that it's frustrating because I like the Dynamax Adventure raids. I think it makes it much more of like an actual raid than the regular raids, if that makes sense. But like when they say it's a raid and you just fight one big Pokemon, like that's cool. But when you think of raiding in a multiplayer game, that's not really what you think of. You think of something more akin to the Dynamax Adventure, but it still feels kind of rudimentary. So I hope that like it's frustrating to just say like, oh, I hope it's a learning experience for them also. But I do hope that, like, I hope that, if there is whatever the equivalent of Max Pearl and Max Diamond are, if it's those or whatever it is, I hope that like larger scale rating is automatically a part of it, because I don't really, I'll keep doing that to try to get cooler Pokemon and just to, hang out with people friends who also play Pokemon. But it's not, it's not the same thing as just, logging on to, any other online game. It's not as, it doesn't feel like it's adding a new season of something. And as far as an expansion goes, I would say that, it would have maybe been more satisfying as just one singular expansion.
I would say you're completely right.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way to put all of this entire thing. One more question. I want to get to what people online thought of it. I asked legitimately right before we went on, what do people think of this game? And I got some answers. So that's always fun. What are your thoughts overall just on this era, the Sword and Shield era, kind of? Where do you feel it? How do you feel like it? Where does it stand? How do you feel like it's going to be remembered? Do you like it? Did you like it? Do you remember it fondly? Is there anything that you would change? Are you going to miss giant fucking Pokemon? Like,
Pat and I were kind of discussing a little while ago, I do feel like that if they keep things on the right path, I do think Dynamax and Gigantamax can be a thing, like where it's not like, oh, Mega Evolution, here it is for this time and it's gone. I think it is a good way to get people to finally play together without actually physically battling each other on the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if it continues in some aspect. I don't know if it's going to be like that thing for the next game or whatever, but maybe it'd at least be an option to go do raids. But imagine if we got this in full, right? We got Sword and Shield and then these two other small branches of regions that we could go to in full. We would probably be saying that this is one of the best Pokemon games ever. It's just we got it in such a weird time, and months after we were kind of done with the original, we got this expansion. And then 2 months after we got that one, we got another one, and they're not great on their own.
Yeah, I think the rollout was like a little too slow.
It was, and that's my thing for it, But I think it will sit as like, I think it's going to change the culture of the game and how it looks and how it feels. So the importance of it is there. I definitely think it's up there. I would say it's a top 5 Pokemon game. In my opinion.
I would agree. And there's elements of it that are like the best the game has ever been. But it does still feel like it's frustrating when you think like, okay, well, the next Switch generation will be a much better one.
Right. We need more,
and you just that's just kind of what you sign up for.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was the first one of these that was, the first, quote unquote, it was more 3D than ever. And, it
was more open world than ever.
Yeah.
I think is always going to be that kind of bad taste in people's mouths because because of kind of how they dicked around what Pokemon are going to be available and what aren't and and that type of thing. So hopefully they won't be as coy about that, or that situation will be less standoffish with everybody the next time around.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I mean, they often don't learn anything from their mistakes or successes.
This is very true. They still do what they want to do.
Yeah, ultimately. I think this game, the whole Sword and Shield generation of this game, I think they're just... It kind of, you look at it now and compare it to where we were 20 years ago, and you just see kind of the series has come a very, very long way. But at the same time, it's it's come a very long way kind of in a vacuum of Pokemon and not in the vacuum of video games.
Yeah, I think one of the things we were initially bitching about not even when Isle of Armor came out, but when Sword and Shield came out, it was oh yeah, or maybe when Isle of Armor came out, whatever. It was oh, we're praising them for all this stuff, but DLC has existed for 10 years.
Yeah, they're still behind.
They, and they get a pass for it because they, are seen as a family friendly, they're seen as less serious because they're not Sony or Microsoft. But I'm sick of that.
Yeah, they need to step it up.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think it's just time to make a game that beats other video games, not just Pokemon. They stay in their lane so much.
They're not gonna turn off fans because the game is inaccessible at this point. The franchise is so old.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you have a built-in fan base of millions of people worldwide. Your game is never going to sell 2 million copies ever again. It's just not. It's going to sell millions and millions and millions of copies worldwide.
It doesn't matter what you do.
By default, Pokemon X and Y, I think, is a very bad game, but it's still millions and probably one of the most bought things on the Nintendo 3DS or wherever the fuck it came on. It just is what it is. So it's kind of now it's the time to kind of take chances. You built sort of the system how you want to do. I say now it's time to take chances. Now it's time to up the ante of the story. Now it's time to kind of redefine where it is and kind of take it in a different aspect. But I think they don't want to scare too many of the kids.
Yeah.
But at this point, teach the kids, change them, change your perspective.
We're also saying this as if, I mean, we're not quite sure if Sword and Shield is really done, but I'm assuming it's done.
I'm assuming it's done. I'm assuming it's done. I'm assuming it's done. It was interesting. The leaks for the leaks also had the original beta for the game.
I saw that.
It came out, and they said that they were working on this. And they were working on this while the last game was about to come out. So they were working on this game. So chances are by now, I mean, despite the cries and everything that's come from this game, they've already probably more than halfway through the next game.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they are. AKA we'll be seeing it in the spring or summer.
Yeah. So all I can say is to continue to give us something new, something fresh, something different. I can't say anything bad about the wild area. It's amazing. True. I can't say anything bad about this generation of Pokemon. I think they're good.
They are.
I think they're original. They hold up. It's kind of getting wild. I hope they can, once again, like Pat said, get past the thing of the whole not national index thing. But I kind of more so hope people get past that aspect because it's just 1,000 Pokemon. Just because you want your favorite 6 doesn't mean that we have to include all 1,000 of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's time to find new favorites, and it's time to change how you approach the game. And okay, now we're making new teams. Now we're exploring this, so you can appreciate different Pokemon more. I appreciate Azumarill way more than I did when it came out in Gen 2. So
yeah,
it's
facts.
It's just it's a different game. Let's get in a few comments, and then we'll get out of here on what people thought of this game. I asked people on Twitter what they thought. At JMacWDC, He says, better than Isle of Armor, but still short. Love the max raid adventures, though. So, yeah, I mean, people love the Dynamax Cave, max raid adventures, max raid lair, etc., etc. Ugly New York, Rob, shout out to Rob. He says, I just started it today, but I like the max raid, hate the hail. Fair. Hail his ass. Donnie Lucci, our favorite Pokemon expert. He says Dynamax Adventures is fun. Calyrex got little legs. Still waiting for the national decks.
Legs,
keep waiting.
Keep waiting, yeah. Keep waiting, Donnie. Yeah, keep waiting, man.
And those legs are very little. Yes, 100%. X, he says Dynamax Adventures would be so much better if you could use your own goddamn Pokemon. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree either, X. But I understand. Like I said, I wanted that too, but I get why it doesn't work. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
It's harder with the rental Pokemon.
Yeah, and at this point, we need harder in this game.
Yeah.
Blue Squid Park, Sid. Shout out to Sid. He hosts the Section 8 No Jiu-Jitsu podcast. Shout out to him. Big fan, big friend of the Lookout, just in general. You should be able to see who votes for what path in the Dynamax Adventures. I got some people to curse out.
That's real. That's real.
That is hilarious. Dion Brando says, bringing all my overpowered legendary Pokemon in Gen 4 starters from the old games is awesome, essentially. So people bringing in all their old Pokemon. It seems great. Last one comes from... Actually, no, it's not the last one. Donnell's Jones.
Hey.
He says, enjoying it overall. Feels a little jigged that we didn't get more drip and hairstyles. I agree.
I know. I was a little upset about that too.
Apparently, there are new clothes in this game, but there's not a lot.
What about really Donnell Jones?
They made such a big deal out of that in Isle of Armor.
But here's the thing, though. They need to figure out facial thing too, because they still don't have.
We all look the same, really, just different colors.
Yeah.
They got it like, oh, you can be black now, but you still look like the same person.
Yeah, all
of you losers. Last one comes from John. Shout out to John.
What up, John?
We love John. Dynamax Adventures are a ton of fun. I like that it requires strategy beyond just using OP Pokemon and melting everything you come in contact with. I still just wish the online system was more workable.
Yeah, well,
it sucks. It fucking sucks.
Man, Nintendo's so bad with their shit.
It's let's not pretend it's good in any of their online games.
Yeah, it's really not a Pokemon issue, it's a Nintendo issue.
Like if Pokemon and Smash Bros don't have good online systems, like that's just total inadequacy on Nintendo's part.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Mario Kart.
I will say also it kind of in that not really like that, but the map itself, the town map for Crown Tundra, as far as like telling you where you're at, is maybe the worst one in all of these games. I could not figure it out, man.
I'm lost. Yeah, I'll be honest. I still get lost in that game. Isle of Armor was a little bit easier to figure out. Wild Area, after a while, once you got rid of like the whole massive size of it, once you got past that, and the fact that it was introduced in halves, you know what I'm saying? Like the first part of the game, you got the first half, the second part of the game, you got the second half, and they all came together eventually. That was different. Crown Tundra, I'm never probably going to figure out kind of where I'm fully going in this game unless I play it a lot, and I absolutely don't plan on playing it. So I'm just not gonna discover it. But I would say, it just is what it is at this point. If you got it, you got it. I would say play through it, see how it is. You already paid the $15. It don't make no sense. That is it. I mean, that is it for the Crown Tundra, maybe the Sword and Shield era of the game. Maybe we'll have an epilogue if something interesting happens. I have no other Pokemon news except Pokemon Go Halloween event is going on live. It is amazing. I still don't have a shiny Murkrow. Jeff has multiple shiny Murkrows, and he has
from like 2-3 years ago though, like random, like in Walmart parking lots. So
we don't have Walmarts or parking lots in New York City.
Yeah, my Murkrows were Halloween events too.
Yeah, I have not seen one, but it just is what it is. They also have shiny Spiritomb as well, which looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
the anime is an interesting place. I remember a couple episodes on the Lookout, we talked about the whole Dynamax trilogy. It's actually not a trilogy. There's 4 parts to it. So actual things are happening in the show related to the games, which is interesting for the first time. Ash and Leon are battling Dynamax Pokemon who are Dynamaxing without will, and they actually showed Chairman Rose in the game. So, I mean, in the anime.
It's pretty cool.
So, yeah, they're going somewhere. We have something that's very cool. We recorded a special Halloween episode. The Lookout, you can only find this on YouTube. You will not be able to find this on the podcast feed. So if you're listening thus far, you will only find this on YouTube. So go to our Lookout YouTube page. We'll also link it on the Lookout RNC on Twitter. So make sure you stay tuned to there as well. We did creepy Pokedex entries. I guess this will be a part 1 because we wrote down a lot, but we didn't get through everything.
Not even close.
Yeah. So consider this a part 1. It'll be up live on YouTube. You can listen to it exclusively there. We had a fun time doing it. Yeah. And just,
we are waiting for the Pokemon Snap release date. Maybe we'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have that to look forward to at some point.
Huh. It seemed like that would be better as a mobile game, but I guess that's what Pokemon Go is for.
You know, Switch it's coming. It's coming on Switch.
Pokemon Go was literally, because Switch is a mobile game.
That's right. Don't forget, Meelz.
Pokemon Go is literally to get people to come back, and now they're back.
Now they're going hard.
Yeah.
You can make sexy photos of Pokemon Go, though. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're still waiting on the Pokemon Snap release. We're still waiting on our goddamn remakes.
Whichever it will be.
We'll see you when one of them or both of them are announced. Maybe there's a Nintendo Direct in our future. Who knows? Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening to the Mount Silver podcast. We actually appreciate a whole bunch of people asking where this podcast is, being glad that it's coming back for an episode. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, but that's kind of it. We're going to sign off now. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for a whole bunch of different things. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Yeah.